I heard the noise, and here we go.
All right,
Dredgelords versus Wrestling Beach Phase, round 4, game 1. Let's see what we got.
All right, a little bit of range on this side. Big splash. All right, so it seems as on blue team, Wrestling Beach Phase carrying like standard for the course.
A lot of splash damage over on Wrestling Beach Phase sides, which can be very annoying on such a close quarters map. And I think Dredgelords kind of favoring that close quarter map as well. The brush is going to come through. See, all right off the top, getting the snipe or the three.
Triple right off the
triple right off there. And that, like I said, these short range weapons can do a lot of damage here if you're not prepared for them. So great positioning from the brush there to start off the game, and that's going to be a lot of control for Dredgelords.
It seems like Dredgelords brought weapons to the map that's going to allow them to get aggro and then like peel to cover. With the Splatter Scope helping them out for stage control, there's going to be a lot of ways for them to come back to safety no matter where they're fighting.
Yep, and a bunch of specials coming out from Dredgelords here to kind of get a command of that control, but they do not have the zones painted, so they're not building points. Get them now. Let's see if they can kind of solidify it, because Wrestling Beach Phase doing a great job stalling out the points here, if anything.
It always seems like this is such a hard map to control a lot of space on because of how much cover there is on it, and the fact that you have to control 2 zones at once, which has always been a pain.
Yeah, it's definitely you have to really solidify your control on the other team's side to really make much of a dent in those points. And just an evenly contested game right now. Wrestling Beach Phase kind of trying to fight for the Dredgelords. They're putting a lot of pressure right there on the plat. And they did take zone right there. Let's see if Lily can fend her off, as that's going to be the sniper getting the kill.
It seems like Wrestling Beach Phase, like, they're being able to contest the objective well, because we already see them like trying to fight back the points they have for getting a few points on the board. But it seems like they're going in as 1s or 2s. I feel like if they rushed center and like split off as a full squad, they might have a better shot, just because Dredgelords is covering from the high end really well.
Yeah. But what I do know right now is Dredgelords isn't really pushing up as much as I would like to see from them, and that's kind of not letting them keep a hold of the map, as you see a lot of bluing coming out here. And I think part of that has to do with all the splash damage coming out from Wrestling Beach Phase. That's going to make it hard for them to be on the side of the map, and that's going to be 3 going down for Wrestling Beach Phase, though. So Dredgelords doing a good job of pushing them right back out.
You brought up a great point with the kits that they brought to the table, because one of the faults of the splash damage-oriented weapons they have is that they can't really push too deeply into enemy territory, because they're not going to be able to contest like extreme close range, or if they end up getting flanked, because then they're going to lose a ton of control on the map. Yep. But nonetheless, bring it back into the action. Dredgelords holding center stage, so you can try to push forward with the Inkjet. Going to go pretty deep in, safely blast back. Yep,
good coverage from the team right here. Spider able to pick off the aggro around that Inkjet. And we are getting down to 20 points on Dredgelords' side with a Stinger coming out from Meep. Let's see if they can get a pick and maybe solidify the lead here, the win.
Inkstorm forcing them off the position constantly. Not going to be able to get a pick off that.
Yeah, good pressure from Wrestling Beach Phase to stay alive there. That's going to be Lily getting a double kill, I believe, going for more, but has to back off slightly. But that's going to be control for Wrestling Beach Phase. Well done to them, a good penalty, and they have a good chance to get some control. Lily putting up a lot of pressure right here.
And good self-control with falling back off this pressure. Don't want to get too greedy while you're trying to fight off this.
Yeah, for sure. Wait for your teammates.
It's a heavy point deficit they're sitting at. They can't really afford to slip up right now.
Yeah, especially with the timer dwindling down only a minute and a half in this game, but that's a lot of time for both teams to sway this game one way or the other, as Dredgelords going to get the penalty right back. Squip kind of separated here from his teammates, going to go back to back to the middle of the map here.
We just saw a torpedo being used in the middle of that firefight. How do you feel like that weapon's going to be for controlling space here on Black Belly?
I think torpedo is always good. It just forces you to think or move or something, and especially if your teammates are working with you, it can just be a lot of pressure right now. But Wrestling Beach Phase making another stab at the zones here. 2 down on their side. They're going to have to just try to stall, but Lily getting the pick on the sniper, getting maybe another pick on the brush. Does get a triple. So good job from Lily. There's only Spider here kind of camping it out, waiting for an opportunity to get the jump on somebody, but the Blaster are going to be able to sniff them out with the splash damage there, as they do almost a good job backing up, but Rissa able to get that finish. And we're seeing they're making a run for it right here in the last half minute of this game.
Yeah, one thing I feel like Black Belly really forces upon players of any skill level is that you have to be confident with your movement. Otherwise, you get caught in the geometries like we just saw there. And on top of that, there's a lot of places for you to move. Thankfully, there's a ton of space to ink for Black Belly. But if you don't know for certain where you're going to position yourself in a fight, you can get toasted so quickly.
Absolutely, you have to be aware of what's around you, and if you are safe, because if you're not safe, you're going to get picked off real quick. There's a lot of things you can get stuck on, and that's kind of what we saw there at the end. But Dredgelords is going to be taking that game. Close one, though.
Yeah, the latter half of that game is starting to get a little slippery for them. I feel like if Resting Beach Face sort of keeps that in mind, so they're trying to roll with that momentum they were starting to get at the end, they can make game 2 towards their favor.
Absolutely. I think they had a good idea with the splash damage, that the kind of comp they were running. I would like to see them maybe kind of take advantage of when they have special advantage more, because I feel like Dredgelords was using specials more to their advantage from what I saw.
I would agree completely.
Like I would see things like Lily being in the bag using armor but not really pushing up with it at all, just kind of popped it to pop it, things like that. But obviously they made a good push near at the end. It was a very close game, so we'll see what Clamblitz on Anchovy has for us. So based on that game, what do you think we have in store for us on this game 2?
I feel as far as weapon comps go, we might see things fairly similarly. Maybe the trade out of the splatter scope.
You think?
That's what I'm thinking. Just because like there's a lot of tight corners to cover on Anchovy, and with Clam Blitz, it's going to force players to be very mobile, just because focusing the objective and wherever they position themselves with the team. With that though, maybe more traditional weaponry. I'm surprised we haven't seen more NZAP. I feel like that might be invited into this map.
I think we could see it potentially from Lily for sure. I know they kind of hop around between NZAP and Junior, I'm pretty sure, but those kind of fill the same role. Junior being a bit more support up oriented, not it builds those armors faster. So I think that could be something I think we could actually see the Junior sticking out here. Just based on and they need to push more with it. So I think if they build more armor, obviously they'll have more opportunity, and that's what they need. They need to start pushing with those specials.
Didn't seem like we had too much downtime in between these games, so it may not have been that much changed. Nonetheless, we're going to go right into Anchovy Games for Game 2. Dredgelords up the game. Do you think they can carry the momentum from Game 1 into this?
I think it's going to be a close fight either way, so we'll see what happens here. We actually see the sniper coming out from both teams instead of switching off of it, so let's see how that battle plays out. Shiny versus Meep on the sniper.
All right, seeing plenty of variety as far as what we've got on specials. I feel like map control is going to be like more important towards the outer ridges than center stage. Center stage is always a hell zone for this type of map because you have to control the fans so strongly.
Absolutely.
But if they cover the tighter corners, control their movement, and most importantly, ink control for this map, I feel like this can snowball really heavily. Yeah, and I think map control will be big for Dredgelords here. We see a Vanilla Pro, so point sensors, if they have map control, point sensors will make any movement options for Resting Beach Face a lot more limited. Good snipe there from Meep, able to pick them off, and they got a 4v2 advantage right here as they make a big push on the basket with Bubbles and a baller. So you're kind of backing off, maybe looking for more clearance, kind of just trying to stay safe as they're trying to get back to the basket. So we're getting picked off by the two players there on Resting Beach Face side, but they're just sneaking another claim and they're trying to stall the lead as much as they can. And that's going to be the end of that push and a wipe coming out from Resting Beach Face. So not a huge push, but a push nonetheless. We'll see how Resting Beach Face can react and kind of turn the tables back. They're not in too bad of a position for a reversal now. It's just a matter of how well they can keep themselves grouped up. Got a couple of power claims on the board, so certainly doable, especially as the armor gets popped in the middle of the fight. Let's see what they can do as they come in from the side.
Yeah, we're seeing a big push on the right side here, trying to get through with the baller right here, and they're going to make it to the basket. Let's see if they can stay alive, though, as they're going to drop that power clam. They have a jump coming in, but it might not be a long-lasting push here.
It's going to be able to get the initial break, but with no follow-up, it's not really worth the play. Dredgelords going to be able to take the advantage of this, ink back their territory, and the map is looking pretty split even right now. I feel like Dredgelords has at least a good game plan going on, where as soon as these fights break out, they just clean up, make everything green.
Yep, that is exactly what you need to do on Clam Blitz. Once the other team fumbles a push or overextends, you need to get right back into taking control, and that's what we see there. All of Resting Beach Face still kind of near their spawn as a baller coming out from Suki. They're going to get a jump in, the ball's going to get a pick, going for more, and able to get a 2-for-1 trade while the basket pops. But again, no follow-up there.
Yeah, I feel like Resting Beach Face just a bit too deep in it to really make anything out of that play. They went for the trade, which was all right, but like again, if you can't get any true follow-up on this, that initial break just hurts so badly because now it's like they have more of an uphill to climb.
But we did see a kind of the difference here from both of those pushes. Meat fell back, and that allowed them to retain more control than they would have if they got a full wipe, as well as retaining the power clam. So they still have, look at 29 clams on their side right now, and a lot of map control. Good snipe coming out from Shiny there. We'll see if they're able to do much more with it as they get 2 picks. Stingray going to come out trying to force pressure on those power clams, limit their movement. Let's see if they're able to contend it. The Stingray battle coming out.
They're doing what they can, but it's sort of a stalemate at this point in time.
Yep. We saw Lily kind of die off alone near the basket, not able to get much going with the push, but they are trying to keep mid, which I think is a good strategy. Both teams with a lot of clams now, so whichever team kind of makes the better special push first might be in a good position here. And that looks like it might be Dredgelords with 2 super jumps coming into a baller. A nice sneaky baller coming in from Suki, and that's going to be a lot of points, down to 29. And Squip's still staying alive. Look at sneaking around.
Bubbler to hold the position was really smart. Managed to hold off really well, and to let Dredgelords hold a sizable lead here. I'm actually really curious to see, like, what's the mindset of whoever's making shot calls in this match, because it seems like special usage goes from being like fairly sporadic just for holding the line to everyone all in.
Yeah, and I think normally what you want to see in Clam Blitz is either everyone in or kind of like a one after the other, so you can keep that control for longer, not risk the wipe. And that's not really what we've been seeing from Wrestling Beach Face, I feel. There's another baller coming in, but a lot of firepower on it, and it's just going to get snuffed out right away. That's kind of like the missed timing, I feel, that we're seeing from Wrestling Beach Face. But good play, able to get the kill, and 2 clams coming in. This is a big opportunity for them. They're going to take the lead there. So
they're going to take a side. Look at that.
The whole game, maybe.
They are 1 clam down.
If Shiny can sneak it through,
and he does.
Wow.
And look at that. That's like Clam Blitz is the kind of mode where you can never feel comfortable with the lead you have. You can have all the ink control, map control, wipes aplenty. You don't know you won until you see that windscreen, man.
That was so sudden, and Dredgelords was not ready for it. Great opening. I thought it was a misplay at first from the baller coming out, but still able to get that 1 kill, and it all just kind of followed suit from there. They got the jumps in and kept the pressure up. Just wow, what a final push there. That was 80 points in 1 push. So that is exactly what you want from Clam Blitz. You want the big push. You want, doesn't matter if you keep pushing in and getting 20 points. If you can get 80 in 1, that's what you want.
Yeah,
and that's what they did.
And just as you were saying earlier, it's either use those specials one after another, maintain the control, hold the line, or just all in. Because then you get those powerful plays like that, and that's what allowed RBF to take game 2.
Yeah, so it is actually 1-1. It's not a Dredgelords did not take game 2, as you see on the screen. So it is Clam Blitz and Chovy going to Wrestling Beach Face.
And that's gotta be a heartbreaker for Dredgelords because they held that map really well.
For sure.
Well, that all crumbled so quickly for them. Going into game 3, Rainmaker on the Reef. I don't know. Now it's a toss-up because they were looking kind of nice coming into this, but Wrestling Beach Face got themselves together real quick.
I think we were onto something when we said that both teams had a lot to kind of, they have a lot of show. They have a lot to. I don't know what I'm saying. They're very close. It's a very close set. I think we can expect. I think we can expect another similar game here in game 3. I think a less polarizing map than any Clam Blitz, really.
Clam Blitz is always that wild card kind of game mode because you can be super organized. You can go for like the peak of meta play, and none of that matters unless you execute it right and you're always ready for whatever can happen. Because look what that was, what, 30 seconds of a map going?
It was shorter than I can even like put a finger on, but I think we might see some of the same here on Rainmaker. 1 big push could decide the whole game. But less so than Clam Blitz for sure, because with Clam Blitz you can super jump the objective basically.
Right.
You don't have that same option in Rainmaker, so
time is everything.
That kind of attrition that Dredgelords was showing, that kind of keeping mid, falling back when they need to, that might favor them more in this game. But we'll see how each team can adjust their continue adjusting to play styles here in game 3.
It seemed like a little bit more downtime coming into this, and definitely different weapons as we come into it. I feel like more time was spent sort of like figuring out the game plan, reassessing the situation, get themselves back in the game, because Dredgelords was holding very well throughout games 1 and for most of game 2. I feel like if they at least maintain that mentality and just don't let it get to them, they can take game 3 here. Yep.
So kind of a bit of passiveness from both sides here. Let's see who can pick out an advantage first, as the army going to be already coming out from Wrestling Beach Face, and they're going to start pushing forward on the bridge here with it.
I feel like the opening firefight that always takes place on the Reef is always the most chaotic. We even got the stamp coming out. Clean up
sniffing out the Rainmaker. Yeah, Wrestling Beach Face kind of opted to grab the Rainmaker earlier there, and it might have bited them in the back, as that's going to be 2 down on Wrestling Beach Face side. They're going to opt to go to the close here on the left side, which actually this map changed.
Oh, they're beelining it, man. Look at this.
Look at. All right, the Stingray able to snuff out the Rainmaker, and that's not a lot of points coming out, even though they made some movement, only up to 79. So good special usage and defense from Wrestling Beach Faces. They're going to be able to get the Rainmaker back out of the close, hopefully, as Meat kind of backed up into a corner here. Let's see if they're... Nope, that's going to be a good snipe off from Shiny.
I feel like trying to start the game with going down the deep lane on the Reef sort of sets the tone for the rest of the set, because now it's like you want to play the wide game. You have to focus a lot more towards your ink control than just your firefights. Because when you're trying to take it down the middle, yeah, it's an open hell zone. It's really difficult to control, but if your team is good in fights, and especially if they control their specials, then it's not that difficult. But once you take it towards the lanes, you're instantly forcing this entire game to be a drawn-out slugfest. And I feel like that might benefit Dredgelords in the long run.
Yeah. We do see Dredgelords opting to go through the middle this time. Not a fan of the strategy they had before with the close. They're going to get a little bit more, but again, getting kind of snuffed out here. Wrestling Beach Face able to just keep their side of the map, which is very important, not letting them get through, and able to react and take mid pretty swiftly here. They now have the map control. And a bunch of picks. That's 3 more picks coming out from Wrestling Beach Face. They have a big opportunity here. Another Stingray pick coming out, but the Rainmaker falls to I don't even know what.
It looked like it was Kent's splash shot.
Maybe a bomb. I'm not sure, but Dredgelords still kind of backed up by the ink control here. The Booyah Bomb gonna maybe give them some room to move.
It's good for clearing out that middle portion of the bridge, but like if they're not all grouped up to follow it up, I feel like it's almost lost. Good pick from Shiny. CRS and Beach Face can continue to hold this fight as they try to stop Dredgelords. Fortunately for them, Dredgelords seems a little haphazard in this approach right now. They're not really coordinating a push well.
Yeah, they need to have teammates pushing ahead and clearing that path. And we might see that here on the left side, 2 teammates ahead of them. But the Stingray going to come out. It's going to be hard to avoid in that close, and the Stingray is going to kill the Rainmaker here. Going for more, not able to get it, but the close actually pretty hotly contested despite those picks. They're going to grab again, try to put the pressure on.
Only a single point gain from that. They're really not in a position to move this up. It's going to be hard to hold the line here as well. Although, with 3 up, it's not the worst kind of a situation. Squib coming in for the flank, going to be able to clean it up. Pops the armor in response to the splashdown. All right, if anything, it was a good enough push just to burn the clock, which, if Dredgelords opts to play the game like that, they're in a good enough position to do it. Yeah,
like I said, that kind of holding map and the attrition coming out from Dredgelords is working in their favor for now, but if they do opt to go for a push, they can't overextend, because at the end of the game, that's not a big lead, and they either need to further that lead or continue playing great map control and pressure.
Yeah, 65 is not a point lead that's easy to maintain, just because it can get broken so easily, given the layout of the map.
Absolutely.
Like, you can force yourself on that wall and break that 65-point lead.
And as we saw last game, Wrestling Beach Face capable of big, sudden pushes, so they're going to need to be very careful here in the last minute with the Rainmaker on the bridge, and 2 down from Dredgelords. Now respawns here. They have Dredgelords not even focused on grabbing the Rainmaker. They're trying to get control back. Now Meat going to opt to grab it. So now they don't have a backline, they have a Rainmaker. They're all about the pressure right now. They're trying to pressure the side of Wrestling Beach Face. Booyah Bomb going to be able to help them do that, but they're going to get snuffed out on the landing. Lily going for the Rainmaker. Good play there, but ends up trading.
It's a very similar situation towards the end of Game 2, where RBF couldn't really afford to show their hand until they were all set for their play. So even though we're down to the last 20 seconds, it's still very possible for them to try and take this back. They're going to have to do it in overtime, but the possibility is there.
Yep. It's going to be very hard, though, as they are now forced into what is basically their last push. They're going to need to be playing this very carefully. Not much in terms of specials on either side. Able to get Squip there. That's going to be a slight man advantage, but they're going to have to get through. They're being pressured all the way right there, and that's going to be nobody covering that angle right there from Wrestling Beach Face. So Dredgelords able to hold off Wrestling Beach Face on that game.
Once again, it was a bit of a messy one, but they managed to come out on top. As I brought up earlier, Stingray control, man, on the reef, it's so important. Like, there's a reason people used to bring 2 like consistently to this map. Now it's not nearly as popular, but the map just offers so much.
Yeah, the backline has so much room to just use the Stingray, and one option is basically nullified by Stingray. That close is basically nullified by it. We saw that even on Dredgelords' side. They got snuffed out by Stingray a bunch in that game. But in the end, they were able to hold map more, and we didn't see another big push coming out from Resting Beach Face. Kind of interesting. Both of these teams playing more passive, more defensive, you know, compared to a lot of aggressive comps you might see in Splatoon. So it's a very interesting set we have here. And Tower Control Inkblot, what do you feel about this mode for these 2 teams?
So as far as the mode goes, I feel like Tower Control is going to lend itself a bit more towards RBF. Like, Tower Control lends really well to teams that can coordinate a good backline, but also know how to organize their specials well. And we're seeing that in bits and pieces from RBF. If they're able to get that in short controlled bursts as they take checkpoints, I feel like that could bring us into the Game 5. But given this particular combo for Tower Control on Inkblot, I honestly can't say where we're going to go. I feel like, considering how firefight heavy this particular combo goes, I don't know how well it's going to coordinate itself between the 2 teams. And Dredgelords, on multiple occasions throughout the set now, have managed to drop the ball as far as ink control goes. And if they end up letting go of ink control at key points of the match's momentum to RBF, there's going to be situations where they may not be able to take it back.
Yeah, I think for sure RBF is a very momentum-based team, just based on the way they're playing in the set. Because when they do have an opportunity, they can get something going. They are obviously capable of some big pushes, but otherwise, if they're being pressured, if they're being locked out, they haven't really been reacting well, and that's where Dredgelords has been succeeding in their 2 wins, like we saw in that last game. And I think that could be an advantage to them on this map, because if they're able to kind of stay alive, keep mid, and put the pressure on the other team's side, even if they're not making big pushes, you know, you can kind of control that tower, force the other team to think about objective, and it just, you know, it can be a very, we might see another sluggish game here depending on how these teams play it out.
As far as the weapons go, I feel like this is very part of the course to the meta, but in a way that we haven't seen from the rest of the set. It's going to be a lot of just hold the line. And this sort of goes back to what you were saying earlier with what Dredgelords is bringing to the table, with how well they were able to keep things static on the map. And how do you feel that's going to work out with tower control?
I think, well, Suki come out with an inkjet. I think that really it's going to be all about the pressure that's put on the other team's side. If they can get to where that statue is, this plat area kind of here where Lily is, then I think whatever team can do that and do it more consistently will be a very big advantage. And I think Dredgelords kind of their playstyle is more. I think we're more likely to see that out of them. But okay. I mean, again, both teams having very good defense. Suki getting snuffed out on the flank right there, and only a push to 68. But they're going to need to get the map control. That's where RBF has been struggling. Even when they do get picks, they're not really getting that map control and reacting as well as Dredgelords. I think Dredgelords is fast to react in their advantages.
I definitely agree. I feel like if RBF is able to roll with the momentum of getting their 2 picks off, 3 picks off, maybe even the full consecutive wipe, then we could definitely see the change of pace here. We're seeing them take the first checkpoint, but no one's really pushed up.
Speaking of picks, we just saw a bunch there coming out from Resting Beach Face. The sloshing machine finally getting picked off, but that's going to allow Resting Beach Face to start pushing that tower, get the slight lead. They're kind of going to go down there, but we do have 2 in mid still. Let's see if they're able to at least hold it. Suki going very aggressive, and it does not work out. So good teamwork from Resting Beach Face right there. Let's see if they're able to push up again, because that's what they need to do. They need to keep the pressure up.
You know, something I noticed in the past couple of games is that RBF is being a bit more bold with calling out the more aggressive plays from Dredgelords. We saw how well that worked out for them in Game 1, and now it's seeming a lot more risky. Because, like earlier when we saw the Octobrush come out, it was able to clean up shop very early. Now Suki's getting called out for that kind of a play, and it brings to wonder, like, how well are they going to be able to adapt to the situation? Because it seems like RBF is able to learn from their mistakes as the set is going.
Absolutely. I think that just factors in. I think they've been playing better defense, reacting better to the aggression from Dredgelords, and I think that's why we haven't seen the big leads coming out from Dredgelords. But it's all about you know, if they're able to keep the momentum going after the picks, like we've been stressing. And here they're getting 3 picks there. This could be a lot of room to get the first solid lead of the set. Spider going to be jumping back. We might see a sting right here.
Really trying to hold so far up the point. Gives great room for everyone to move in. Shiny going to fall back, start to use the Ray. Try to clean up shop. Not getting any picks out of it, but the mispositioning is so rough for Dredgelords.
Yeah. The tower is going to be stalled here for now, and the Stella is going to be picked off on the aggression there. But Wrestling Beach Race staying alive. They have a more solid lead, and they're going to be able to stay alive. Look, even in mid, able to play that defense and get a couple picks there. Let's see if they can work together to keep mid, because Dredgelords now in a very risky situation. Now they have to be more aggressive than they've been and more coordinated to get a bigger lead than we've kind of seen from them the past couple games.
Just something I want to bring up real quick. RBF has been so good with going for selective picks in this game, and we're seeing a lot of picks from all across the map.
Yeah, it's been I think they've been getting a lot of man advantages, and they're definitely reacting better, which is kind of what we were talking about before. It's, you know, it's great to see, but a push opportunity coming out here. They're moving the tower. They're going to try to force them back, but the Stingray is going to come out. The Stingray battle maybe. Shiny just opted to focus on the tower, and they're going to get the kill on the tower.
This is such an impressive push from Dredgelords. See how they utilize their specials all in one wave. We had everything pressed up against them, and even though RBF was actually positioned really well to respond, they just couldn't do anything between the Inkstorm and the Ray forcing them off. Yep.
Well, RBF got to get a full wipe there. And that's going to be the last 45 seconds in the game. Let's see if they can. They're going to be often all under pressure. We see Lily and Stella here all the way pushed up. Lily and Stella able to get 2 picks between the 2 of them there.
Forcing Meep off positioning. Stella even there to back them up.
Look at this. This is beautiful teamwork, beautiful pressure right now. This is what they need to be doing in the last 30 seconds of the game. Lily staying alive with the armor going all the way up. And
this
coming
is like
back
a
behind.
180 of how we saw just this game start, let alone the whole set. RBF has taken the reins on how to control this map, and just like that, even though Dredgelords has the tower, they have so much room to cover now. They have to ink so far. They have to try to dive deep. They've only got about 5 seconds left on the clock, and they need a really dangerous push just to hold this, to even get to the next checkpoint, let alone fight for the lead.
However, what we do see now is a lot of special advantage. Dredgelords was able to take out Lily when they try to sneak on the tower there. And that's 3 down from Wrestling Beach Face. This could be the big push they were looking for the whole game. The Blaster able to get 2 picks, but can they touch the tower? They need to right now. That's not
just like that. All right.
That was a wow. What a comeback from Dredgelords. We saw what I was trying to say. I didn't even get the opportunity to because it just became too close for me to even touch on it. But what we saw, Wrestling Beach Face, they did a great job pushing pressure. We saw great teamwork from Stella and Lily on the on Dredgelord's side. However, they rode tower, and when you ride that tower, you're giving the other team a lot of special advantage. They were able to start that push with 3 specials. We saw Bubble, we saw Stingray, and we saw something else that I forget. We saw 3 specials coming out from Dredgelords, and they were able to coordinate them very well.